welcome back to Ask Mia. So this week we are going to be talking about contract to close. And so contract to close is everything that happens between your contract being ratified and you getting the keys to your new home. So once you've chosen your home with your agent and you've gotten the contract fully ratified, all parties have signed and agreed that this is the offer that has won. That is when your agent is going to send you, the buyer, a copy of the contract. They are also going to send it to your loan officer and the closing company. And so that's really important because then everybody has an idea of when the contract was officially ratified, and that's really important for all of our due dates.
Yeah, we just want to make sure everybody's on the same page there. So as soon as your lender has received that ratified contract, you're going to want to check in with them and your agent's going to do the same thing. You just want to make sure that there's no additional documents that they need from you. They may need another signature here or there, but this is also a really great opportunity for you to order homeowners insurance as well as a home warranty because those processes do take a little bit of time and you want to make sure by the time you receive the keys, you are fully covered.
This is also the time to officially apply for your loan. You had a pre-approval. Now is the time to officially apply for your loan. You have 7 days from the contract being ratified to do that. And that's where your loan officer will really start the process of getting you into underwriting and all of that. Next is the home inspection. So your agent will work together with you to schedule the home inspection, whatever schedule works best for you so that you can be there. I always really encourage my clients to be there so that all of their questions can be answered. If it was an informational purposes only home inspection, there won't be any repairs to negotiate, but we are seeing more standard inspections, which is where we start to negotiate more repairs. And so you'll kind of discuss with your agent what you think the most important repairs are to you, and that's where they'll negotiate the PICRA, which is the Property Inspection Contingency Removal Addendum. And so with that, they will send it to the seller's agent, and that's where the negotiation kind of begins. Sometimes they say, yes, we'll cover all of these repairs, and sometimes they'll say, you know, we'll cover repairs A and B, but not C and D. And so you do kind of have a little bit of back and forth there sometimes.
Yeah, and there's a really good chance that your agent already knows a home inspector that they trust, but if you know one that you trust more, feel free to use them as well. What's really important is you want to make sure that your termite and moisture inspection is scheduled right around the same time that your home inspection is so that everybody's on the same page and your two inspectors can kind of collaborate a little bit. Your termite inspection is going to make sure that there isn't any water or insect damage underneath the house. It's non-invasive, but they just want to make sure that everything is clean under there. We're looking for a clear termite letter, and that states that there is no active damage, and if for any reason there is some active damage, that will be covered under the cap that she had just talked about.
So yeah, so the cap is 1% of the purchase price, and it covers your home inspection repairs, termite and moisture repairs, well, septic, and any appraisal repairs. So these are the repairs that, you know, that cap is 1%. So if it's a $200,000 home, the seller is going to be responsible for $2,000 worth of those repairs. So if there's $2,000 worth of termite damage, that's going to be on them. And so it is really important as the buyer to consider, you know, are we more concerned about these minor home inspection repairs, or are we more concerned about these termite repairs that need to be done? Because, you know, the sellers are really only responsible for a certain amount, and then you have to kind of negotiate who's going to be responsible for the rest. So that's all of this is a negotiation, and that's what your agent is here for, is to help you negotiate, you know, those terms. The other things that we don't see as much, but we do occasionally see, are well and septic. It is the seller's responsibility generally to pump the septic tank and make sure that it's clean for the new buyer. You know, you don't want to be responsible for somebody else's waste. That's not how it works here. And then also, if you get a survey, that is going to be ordered by the closing company. Surveys are great because if you have a lot on your property that doesn't have clearly defined
boundaries.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. Clearly defined boundaries like a fence. This will really help you know exactly where your property line is. You always want to make sure that you do know where that is, just in case, you know, if you were to put a pool in or something, you don't want to be building that on somebody else's land.
Yeah, and even if you do have a fence, it's not guaranteed that the previous homeowner was following your survey line. So it's always good to make sure that you're not in violation of anything when taking ownership of a new property.
Definitely, you want to get your own survey. Don't always rely on what the seller has for that.
Yeah, and finally is going to be the appraisal. So there's two kinds of appraisals that we see in this market, guaranteed versus not guaranteed. A guaranteed appraisal would mean that regardless of the appraised value, you will still offer the purchase price at closing. And because your lender is only going to give you a loan for the appraised value, you may have to make some up in cash. So if you don't necessarily have the cash, you might not want to offer a guaranteed appraisal, but if you do have the cash, it's a really great way to strengthen your offer. And if you haven't guaranteed the appraisal and it comes in below the purchase price, that's a really great opportunity for you to renegotiate the price and get you a better deal. You certainly wouldn't want to pay more than the house is worth if you have that option. And if there's any required repairs by the appraiser, specifically on VA loans, we do see a lot more required repairs such as window treatments or chipping paint. The seller's going to be responsible for that underneath the cap.
Absolutely. So that's everything that we've got for now, but part 2 of this series is going to be covering condo docs, HOA documents and disclosures, and everything else leading up to the closing table and when you finally get your keys. So look for that.